It is Jonathan Agatha here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Spencer Oliver here in Bournemouth. What a backdrop. I don't normally interview you with seas behind you.
No, do you know what? How decent is it here in Bournemouth, man? The weather is absolutely insane. We got down there yesterday, open workout was brilliant. All the guys looked great. Press conference done now as well. You know, Lawrence Okolie, Chris Billam-Smith, both know each other. Really well sparred, hundreds of rounds together. You know, friends become rivals. Saturday night is going to be absolutely insane. The Vitality Stadium has only ever held 11,000 people, and that's including football matches. On Saturday night, we've got 15,000 people in there. It is going to be nuts, right? And the fight will live up to the expectations. Billam-Smith believes he's going to win. He said, Shane McGuigan said, I know stuff about Lawrence Okolie. I know his strengths. I know his weaknesses. We've come with a game plan. Lawrence Okolie says, you know what? I've got a new trainer. I've been working on new stuff. Sugar Hill, one of the best in the business. He's super confident. Who wins? I'm not really sure, mate. But what I can guarantee is it's going to be a good fight. And it's a good undercard as well. But yeah, every time I come to Bournemouth, mate, the sun is shining. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very nice today, but a storm is coming on Saturday night. So I spoke
That's in the ring, by the way. That's what
I said.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. I spoke to Johnny and I was like, has he ever sparred someone and then fought them and then they fought completely different to how it was in sparring? Has that ever happened to you when you were a professional?
Yeah, absolutely. Sparring's totally different to fight. You know, you can't take too much away from that. You know, you got your head guards, you're working on various stuff, you got your big gloves, you know, it's not full out intensity. Even when it does get heated sometimes, it's not like match fighting. So, yeah, it is totally different. You know, and one punch with these guys who both can whack, especially Okolie with that right hand, one punch can turn things around. So, you know, from Chris Billam-Smith, you think home advantage is crucial in this fight because I think they're both going to have to come through some dark times. Billam-Smith, as we know, he's good at that. He's good at getting down in the trenches. He can pull himself, you know, out of a fight when it's not going his way. And Lawrence Okolie's got that dynamite in his right hand. But you know, one shot can turn it all around, man. So you know, what could happen for Billam-Smith here is that the crowd gets to him and he feeds off it so much that the game plan goes out the window a little bit and he goes in there and he walks onto a right hand. So that's something that could happen. There's loads of ways the fight could go. You know, it's an interesting one. It really is, man. It's a fascinating fight. But yeah, they will both take things away from sparring, but sparring is different to fighting, that's for sure.
What's it going to come down to, in your opinion, Saturday night?
I think it's just going to be tough, mate. I think it's like, you know, Okolie uses that awkwardness. He's going to be looking for that big right hand. Like I say, if he lands it, you know, he could win the fight and win it inside the distance. My general feeling is I lean towards Billam-Smith. I think the home advantage is going to be crucial. I think that they're going to have worked on stuff. It's all about Chris is great on the inside. Lawrence is good at range. Chris is going to be trying to close that space, and if he does it in an educated way and doesn't get caught on the way in, he'll win the fight. You know what Lawrence Okolie does is like people know that he's awkward, but they don't know how awkward he is until they get in there and they fight him, and then they realise that just how long, tall, rangy, how good he ties people up, or whatever it is. In Billam-Smith's favour is he's been there, he's done that, he knows what he's all about. So it's now whether he can implement that plan and pull it into action on Saturday night. I lean towards Chris, if I'm honest, but yeah, it's one of them. It could go either way.
And then I was watching your podcast with Simon Jordan, and something I wanted to pick up on that you were talking about was that you said, like, Fury's been, you know, he's in danger of pissing the public off with, you know, talking about fights, not making fights. How much of it is due to people not wanting to get in the ring with him? How much is it due to the money? Like, what's going on in your opinion?
Well, it's a bit of everything, mate. Tyson Fury is undoubtedly the #1 heavyweight in the world right now. He's looking to cement his legacy. By cementing the legacies of modern eras, etc., you have to fight everyone. So he's got to fight AJ at some point, you know. He's got to fight Oleksandr Usyk at some point, because that's what, you know, that's what heavyweight greats do. The best fight the best. Hopefully we do get other fights, but at the moment, you know, contracts have been, you know, a big problem with these fights not happening at the moment is the political side of things, you know, the contracts, etc. Money, fighters not agreeing to the money that's offered on the table. Like, he's in the driving seat, Fury, because he's the number one. So you understand that, you know. And he says, this is my worth, and this is what I think they're worth. And they're going, well, I don't think I'm worth that. I'm worth a bit more than that. And that's where the negotiations are breaking down. You know, Tyson Fury says, you know, it's not about the money. You know, he's got enough money in the bank. But let's clean up the division, mate. Get in there and make these fights happen. Let's have it, because, you know, it's been going on 2 or 3 years now. We thought we had Andy Ruiz Jr. in the summer. That seems to have broken down. He said Ruiz has outpriced himself in that fight. You know, we was talking about Oleksandr Usyk happening. That doesn't seem to be happening now. I'm not sure if it's even going to happen in December. We just need to see Fury in the ring with these guys now. He's talking about fighting again in August. We heard Dempsey McCain was one of those fighters that was mentioned. Now he's over in Australia. I heard there's another name that's
Shai Opetaia.
Yeah, Shai Opetaia. You know, the cruiserweight, talking about fighting him. Well, I'm not sure where the appetite is for that. We want to see Fury now. He's in the twilight of his career. We want to see him in with the names. I want to see him in with Joshua. I want to see him in with Usyk. You know, he's done Wilder, and he's had incredible fights with Deontay Wilder. They will go down in history. But let's see him in with the other big names now. We don't need these other names. No disrespect to them, but we want to see Fury in with the recognisable names. I'm hoping that, you know, he seems like he's got the appetite there. He wants the fights to happen. Let's hope it happens sometime this summer, or not this summer, this year. But I think people are definitely getting pissed off with it. You know, people were amused about it at first. You know, they found it quite. You know, he's very charismatic. You know, and that's what makes him so special. He's not just brilliant in the ring, but he's charismatic out of the ring. But now it's just going on and on. It's becoming a bit repetitive, and I think people are getting a little bit pissed off with it. They want to see the fights.
And Deontay Wilder said yesterday that he feels Usyk's afraid to fight him. Is he?
I don't think he is. No, he said, you know, he asked to fight him, didn't he? Usyk wanted the fights, and I think the negotiations were broke down on rematch clauses and what the percentages were on those rematch clauses. You know, Oleksandr Usyk said that he would take 30%. So he's not afraid to fight him, is he? If he's going to take 30% and give Fury the lion's share.
Sorry, he meant Usyk was scared to fight Wilder.
Oh, sorry, Usyk was scared to fight Wilder. Well, yeah. No, yeah, Wilder said that because he wants his name in the mix as well, and he wants those fights. They're all going to say that. Of course, they're going to say that. That's called showbiz, man. You know, they want these fights. They want these fights to happen. Sorry, I thought you was talking about he was scared to fight Tyson Fury. Listen, it's showbiz, mate. They're all going to say that. But let's hope we get them fights. I want to see Wilder in with Usyk. I want to see that fight, you know. I want to see the big names in with the big names now. No disrespect to all the other fighters that are coming up and coming through. This has been going on now for a couple of years, and we need to see it.
Finally, spoke to Tony Bellew last week and talking about Joshua fighting Wilder and the potential of having a fight in between. He said that it doesn't really matter how many fights he has in between. In terms of the Wilder fight, it's about who believes in themselves more and who lands first. Yeah. Do you agree?
No, not at all. It definitely matters what happens before. Anthony Joshua, he's lacking in the confidence in his own ability, and that's down through inactivity. You know, he's lost those 2 fights to Oleksandr Usyk. He had a comeback fight against Jermaine Franklin. We didn't really see anything that would tell us that, you know, he would beat the top tier heavyweights right now. He needs to be more active. He needs another fight in the summer before going in with someone like Deontay Wilder. He needs to get in there with, let's say, Dillian Whyte. Get in there, get the rounds under the belt, get the victory, get it done in style. That will give him that added confidence going into that fight. But I wouldn't want to see him go straight into that fight right now.
Spencer Oliver, appreciate your time. Enjoy your rest of your time here in Bournemouth.